in all shenanigans.
That's so funny.
Like, knock yourselves out, man.
I will.
That's what you're gonna have to do for the pain from now on.
Apparently, just a nice little.
Yeah. So what's the deal with this?
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
Okay. All right. Well, you seem really passionate about talking about it now.
Later.
Okay. All right. Are we on? Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I dare you to ask me the song of the day.
I don't know. You're like super feisty right now. I feel like I'm gonna have to fight for my life on this show. But I'm prepared.
Are you?
Yes, I am.
I don't doubt that ever.
What? What was the song?
Oh, the song was What Christmas Means to Me, Stevie Wonder.
Oh, you gotta keep that.
I can't get rid of it, but I also don't need to listen to it on September 23rd.
That's the original, right?
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
I think it's one of the superior Christmas songs.
That's a great Christmas song. This is definitely in one of the top tiers of Christmas songs. Yeah, I don't think anybody would disagree with you.
I think it gets overlooked often.
I don't know.
For whatever reason.
I agree with that statement, and I'm not sure why. Because I think that if you said, okay, who are some of the best musicians of all time, I don't think he gets mentioned. But if you mention him, everybody acknowledges that he's the best.
He is.
I don't know why that ends up happening with him. But Stevie Wonder is incredible. Yeah. That whole Christmas album
is a great album.
Like, is again top tier Christmas album. It's up there with Stax Christmas and all the other great ones. Shout out Backdoor Santa.
It's almost time to listen to Christmas music.
Have you started Christmas shopping?
No,
I'm
behind.
I have.
Have you?
I've gotten a couple of gifts already.
Wow.
Just, hey, why would I?
I'm behind.
Why spend?
I do agree with
600, 700, 800 lump sum when you could just break it up throughout the course of the year? Spend 20 here, 30 here, 40 here.
Yep.
That's how I like to get after it.
I do like to, in theory, space out my Christmas shopping. In theory. But then I procrastinate. And next thing I know, it's November and I am spending everything at one time. We've had a thing where, like, as a couple, we've had big shared gifts the last few years, and I don't think we have one this year, so I'm actually gonna have to find a Christmas gift. But not right now. What's up, everybody? It is Tuesday, September 23rd. It's gonna be a good day. Jessica Benson with you from the Grind City Media Studios in Memphis, Tennessee. CJ Hurt behind the glass. Coming up on today's show, we are 1 week away from Grizzlies training camp starting, and Mike Wallace is gonna join us. We'll get his thoughts on the biggest stories going into the week, plus the big injury news out of Houston with Fred VanVleet out for the season. Lions-Ravens was awesome last night. We'll dive into Monday Night Football, wrap up week 3 in the NFL. It was a newsy day yesterday with college football scheduling, Bruce Pearl leaving Auburn. We'll do some TV Tuesday, what we are watching. It's a Tuesday, you know what we say. Happy Fat Bear Week. Vote 901.
You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for? The boy is mine.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Let's go, Grizz! Let's go! Oh, John Moran just broke the rim with that finish. DJ, take them home! DJ!
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
How did they sell you on Memphis?
I was really looking at the success that Memphis had, something I wanted to be a part of, and then the reputation Coach Silverfield and Coach Cramsey had as an OC, the things that he was able to do with Seth and the things that he's done in his career. I felt like that's something I wanted to be a part of, and I felt myself being able to excel in his offense. And also, I looked at the weapons around and everybody that I was going to be playing it with.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Feels great to feel the sunshine. Gotta own a day like it's all mine. Just got paid in his own time. Been working hard, I've been on the grind. I deserve this feeling, having my way. I've been on this healing. This is my day. The sun's out, let's have a little fun now. I wanna let it all out. That's what's it all about. Cause I deserve this feeling, have it my way. I deserve this healing. This is my day.
Grind City Media presents The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. Live from the Grind City Media Studios on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. I hope your week is off to a tremendous start. We did have a tremendous Monday Night Football game last night. Mike Wallace is going to join us in the next segment. We'll talk some Grizzlies, some NBA news with him. ESPN started their top 100 NBA players rankings this morning. They rolled out 100 through 51. They'll do 50 through 11 tomorrow. They'll do the top 10 on Thursday. CJ, do you think there were any Grizzlies in the 100 to 51 space?
100 to 51? Mm-hmm. Yes. Jerome.
How many?
One.
No.
None?
There's one.
There's one.
There's one.
And it's not Jerome.
It's not Jerome.
And it's one?
It's 88.
80. Santi?
Nope.
No. Nope. I have no clue who it could be.
Zach Edey.
Okay.
Zach Edey, top 100.
Hey,
88th.
All right.
We'll talk to Mike about it, get some predictions about who will fall in that 50 to 11 range.
Ty Jerome wasn't in.
No.
Okay. All right.
It is Zach Edey, flanked by Andrew Wiggins, one spot above him, or behind him, I should say. Naz Reid, 2 spots behind him. 2 seasons ago, 6th man of the year, Naz Reid. And then he's right behind Jonas Valanciunas and Bradley Beal.
Who and who?
What an odd assortment. But yeah, Zach Edey, 88 on ESPN's Top 100. We will get into all that with Mike Wallace. That Monday Night Football game last night was tremendous. Just when you think you might be a little footballed out from the weekend after watching nothing but football for about 2 days straight, if you're a college football fan and an NFL fan, the Monday night game rolls around and you're like, I'm exhausted. And then you get the game that you get last night where the Lions beat the Ravens in Baltimore 38-30. It has been quite the turnaround for the Detroit Lions, who after week 1, they lose to the Packers. Everyone is asking if they've regressed. Everyone is asking if their window is closed. Everyone is asking what they are without Ben Johnson. And now they have answered those questions by scoring 90 points in their last 2 games. 52 against the Bears last week, 38 against the Ravens last night. They are 2-1. The Ravens are 1-2. It's as entertaining of a Monday Night Football game as we've had in some time, and it's very nice considering next week we get the doozy of a doubleheader of Jets-Dolphins and Bengals-Broncos. Ooh.
Somebody's got to win.
You know, they kind of had to do that because we have one of the most epic football weekends of the week. Like the college slate on Saturday is, dare I say, one of the greatest of all time. That feels a little hyperbolic, but it's a really good slate of college games. And then Sunday, you start bright and early with the Ireland game, so that's fun. So yes, by the time you get to Monday night, it's like, ooh, do I really need to watch Jets-Dolphins? I'm not sure about that. But considering we got like a banger last night, it was very nice. The game was 28-24 with 8.5 minutes to go. And that is when Derrick Henry fumbled the football again. I do not know he does not know what is happening with him, because it's not like Derrick Henry has a perennial case of the dropsies. Like, you don't think Derrick Henry, fumbly McFumbler. He usually takes care of the football pretty darn well, but he now has 3 fumbles through 3 weeks. And he had the fumble in the game against the Bills, which turned the tide. And he has the fumble last night, and the Lions ended up getting a field goal off of it that put them up 7. But it's just not who he's been as a player. Like, he had 3 fumbles last season on 325 carries. In 2023, he had 0 fumbles. In 10 seasons, he's had more than 3 fumbles just twice. So he's trying to fix it. He was really mad on the sidelines. He threw his helmet, threw himself onto the bench, had a little crash out. I was like, I'd crash out too.
Hold on to the football.
And also
like,
that.
Tuck that ball up and tight. Keep it. What a game by Hutchins, right? Like, what a game. What a play.
What a man.
Hey, listen, you said it, and I'm not going to disagree with it. Oh, boy. Love it when he pops up on the screen in the State Farm commercial. But that play really sealed the game for the Lions. The Ravens are an explosive offense. The Ravens had done some good things, particularly in the middle of the field with Mark Andrews and other tight ends, where they were like,
surprising.
Listen, it seemed like the Lions defensively on passing plays were like, yo, we're going to get pressure on Lamar, and then we're just not going to let him throw the ball deep. They're going to have to throw it underneath and dink and dunk their way down the field. And Lamar Jackson, to his credit, was able to do that. And Andrews, to his credit, caught the ball, held on to the ball, got some yards after the catch, scored a touchdown as well. Like, he is a walking mismatch. He is a really good tight end. If we forget about what happened last year in the postseason with the drops and the fumble against the Bills. So that was going to work. So I'm not sure if I want to say the Ravens were going to score, but I think there was a good chance that the Ravens drive down that field and score. And Aiden just got up and made a tremendous play on the football. Derrick Henry's got to do a better job of tucking it and keeping it tight to his body. It's very clear he's got a case of the fumbles, of fumbleitis, if you will. Acetaminophen don't work on that.
Tylenol does nothing on fumbleitis.
It does not. Not at all. So they've got to, but he's still.
Does Tylenol cause fumbleitis? We don't know these days.
We'd have to ask the professionals. What does that do? What's his name? Kennedy? What does he think about fumbleitis and Tylenol's role?
Fumbleitis, one of the trickiest diseases.
Autism aside, I would absolutely be willing to ban Tylenol if it caused fumbleitis.
Pharmacy school, CJ.
I would absolutely ban Tylenol if it caused fumbleitis. Right? Because I can't be
out of pharmacy school twice. But he would tell you.
I know some things about acetaminophen and NSAIDs, those types of drugs, those OTCs. I did well in my OTC class. It wasn't the OTCs that got your boy. OTC, I got to be an OTC, you know me? I think. Yes, you know me. Yeah, but like he's still, if he can get through the line and get a hit of steam, square the shoulders and go forward, Derrick Henry is still a really, really good running back. The thing that the Lions did a good job of is not letting him square his shoulders and go forward. They caught him as he's running sideways. They caught him before he could get going real good on everything except for that touchdown run in the first quarter.
And Derrick Henry's fumble was definitely a turning point, but far from the only reason the Ravens lose that game. Lamar Jackson was sacked 7 times. Meanwhile, as Mina Kimes pointed out, there is no pass rush for the Ravens this season. Last season, the Ravens defense was 2nd league-wide in rushing success rate. This year, they're 32nd. Like, they have a couple of injuries that they're dealing with, but that does not change the fact that they cannot get to the quarterback and make him uncomfortable. And we saw it against Josh Allen, saw it last night against Jared Goff.
They have 2 pretty big injuries on that side of the ball, Van Noy, and why am I blanking on the Namdi as well.
Yeah, so that's something that they have struggled with. I had, you know me, I always take it too far. Had a wild thought last night. Is Dan Campbell one of the greatest artists of all time? Is he up there with Michelangelo, with Raphael, with Picasso? Because his creativity is off the charts. Just art on the football field. I do genuinely enjoy just watching the wrinkles that they come up with. That 4th and 1 from the goal line where it's the little double pitch with Gibbs and St. Brown. And Jahmyr Gibbs said that they've had that in their playbook for 3 years, and yet that was the first time that they ran it in a game last night. You look at the play call on 4th and 2 from their own 49. late in the game, the decision, he's always going to go for it. He trusts his players, puts them in the right position. The players trust him. But that throw from Jared Goff to St. Brown was the perfection. And then from there, you go with the David Montgomery game icer, just a 31-yard run. And the run game for the Lions is exquisite. I know you have had your conflictions with Dan Campbell over the years, but you have to love how they tote the tater. You are a tater-toter lover. And that team runs the hell out of the ball.
Not conflictions. I, for whatever reason, do not like them. And you're right. They tote the tater real well. Early in that game, I was like, oh, why are the Lions getting pushed around so much up front early in that game? I'd say the first, 2.5, maybe 2 2/3 of the game. The Ravens were in the backfield constantly on run plays. I couldn't tell if that was by design to create some alleys for Gibbs and for Montgomery, who hit the hole about as hard as any two running backs in the NFL. I couldn't tell if that was what was going on there or what, but the Ravens were routinely in the backfield, and then about the 3-minute mark of the third quarter, all that shit stopped. Mm-hmm. And the Lions were pushing those dudes around on the front. And now you've got two backs in Montgomery especially, and Gibbs, who hit the hole as hard as any two running backs in the NFL. Now, instead of hitting the hole and the hole is pushed back maybe a yard or a half yard or two, now the hole is 3 yards down the field. And it's like, oh, no, baby. Oh, gosh, this Ravens defense is beginning to break on us in real time. And then you look up and you're seeing them gash the Ravens front seven for big-time chunk yards. And like you said, Montgomery had that touchdown run as well. That offensive line is just really, really good. Penei Sewell is just really, really good. Those running backs are great. And then all you got to do if you're golf is make 3 or 4 throws a game. Mm-hmm. Just make 3 or 4. Like, oh my gosh, did you see that throw? It's not every single throw doesn't need to be, oh my gosh, did you see that throw? He had that bucket throw on the 4th down to St. Brown. He had that touchdown throw. St. Brown ran a great route, leaving him enough space on the sideline to be able to drop it in there and still be in bounds. So that was 2 of them. And I can't think of another just, oh my gosh, did you see that throw from Jared Goff? It was very much a, hey, here's a throw that everybody makes. Here's another throw that everybody makes. Here's a good read throw. And then there was 2 throws that he had to make that he made, and he can get away with only needing to do that twice because that offensive line is so good and those running backs are tremendous.
And he played mistake-free football. Like, that's what you need in that situation. Just
turnovers?
Don't mess it up. No turnovers. No turnovers for the Lions as a team last night. And ground game-wise, they outgained the Ravens on the ground 224-85.
No turnovers. And where was I going with this? I forget. Oh, no sacks either, correct?
Yes.
Like that Ravens front could not get sacks on and true pressure on Jared Goff. It was a clean pocket for most of the game. I think that at halftime, if I remember correctly, Lamar and Goff had combined for just 4 incompletions so far on the game. It's hard scoring in the red zone when the field shrinks. That play that you described that the Lions ran, the reverse option, I don't know if it was it supposed to be a pitch? It looked option-ish to me. Either way it goes, that's a great play design. We've seen the field shrink. We know the field shrinks down there in the red zone. So they scored on their short field red zone opportunity. The Ravens earlier in the game just could not hammer the ball into the end zone, end up turning it over on downs. And then the Lions just drive down the field from 98 or whatever, 98 yards to get the score. Really impressive.
And the right play calls on 4th down. Did you hear the Amon-Ra St. Brown hot mic moment?
No.
Well, he's probably going to get a fine.
What'd he say?
I can't say it. I don't want to get a fine. I also can't say it.
What were the words?
Bad ones.
Oh my gosh, come on here.
Bad ones.
How bad?
I run this.
MFer.
S.
Oh, I run this S.
N.
Oh, turn up.
Yeah.
Turn up.
He was hot on that. It was like clear as day coming through that microphone.
Sometimes you got to let a naysayer know.
I watched a little bit of the Manningcast last night. It was my first Manningcast experience of the season because, frankly, sometimes I think the Manningcast distracts me from watching a football game. It's like a talk show with a football game on in the background, and sometimes I just want to watch the game. But last night for the beginning portion, watched the Manningcast and was just curious how Daniel Jones was going to be as a guest because coming off of his destruction of the Titans over the weekend, and I saw somebody say, you cannot tell me that the Ravens and the Lions are playing the same brand of football, not brand of football, the same game of football that the Tennessee Titans had on display on Sunday. But Daniel Jones was one of the guests with Peyton and Eli. It was just interesting to see him. He seemed so comfortable. Seems to be in a better space than he was when he was in New York, but it was funny to hear him reflect with Eli. One of the stories he told was when he was a rookie back in, I believe it was 2019, but they had beaten Washington, and Eli Manning was there, and they played a game of Flip Cup, and he said in the moment he didn't understand how this 40-year-old man was beating him at Flip Cup. Like, it just didn't make sense to him, and they went back and rolled the tape, and Eli just cheated in Flip Cup the whole time, and he was like, oh. That's how he did it. And I was like, what an odd life experience that professional athletes have. Like, 1 second, you're playing in college, the next second you're playing Flip Cup with Eli Manning after getting one of your few wins as the quarterback of the Giants. We have to take a quick break. When we come back, Mike Wallace is going to join us. We will chat with him 1 week away from Grizzlies training camp starting. Media Day will be next Monday. We'll have a full Grind City Media special for you, along with player interviews throughout the day. But we'll chat with Mike about the Grizzlies, the big news from the Rockets yesterday with Fred VanVleet out for the season. That's all after a quick break.
You want to be where you think the University of Memphis belongs.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what the next step is?
I think we're positioned, we're ripe for success. And so what I don't want to do is make an intermediate move if it's not going to position us well. And so my job is to make sure when that opportunity presents itself and the circumstance is right, that Memphis is prepared 100% to take advantage of it.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for?
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Catch us if you can at Southland Casino Hotel and win your share of up to $1.8 million in free play and prizes. Join us for drawings every Saturday in May, June, and July. Each month, over 900 winners will take home free play or drive off in a new car or motorcycle. Be there for all 6 grand finale drawings and try to catch us if you can, only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
How did they sell you on Memphis?
Well, really just, I was really looking at the success that Memphis had, something I wanted to be a part of, and then the reputation Coach Silverfield and Coach Cramsey had as an OC, the things that he was able to do with Seth and the things that he's done in his career. I felt like that's something I wanted to be a part of, and I felt myself being able to excel in his offense. And also, I looked at the weapons around and everybody that I was going to be playing it with.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Welcome back, welcome back. You know we are getting closer to the NBA season when you start getting things like the ESPN Top 100 rankings coming out and the ESPN offseason survey coming out. And that means we have training camp starting next week, and the NBA preseason will be here really fast. The first Grizzlies preseason game coming up on October 6th. Before we get there, we will have Media Day next Monday. We will have training camp next week. Is Mike on? Oh, I thought I heard Jacob say that Mike Wallace was on. Yes, he is. Why are you lying to me, CJ? There's Mike Wallace here on a Tuesday. Mike, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, good morning. Exciting times ahead for the Grizzlies. Let's get right into it because a lot of stuff has come out and happened in the last couple of days. Starting with the ESPN Top 100 started to roll out today, Mike. We got 100 to 51, and the way I approach these things is I go Control F, and I type Grizzlies, and I try to see if there's anyone from the Grizzlies, and sure enough, there was this morning. Zach Edey coming in at 88 in ESPN's rank system, so 88 out of 100. He's the only Grizzly in that category. They're going to do 50 to 11 tomorrow, and then 10 to 1, the top 10 on Thursday. First and foremost, for Zach Edey to get recognized as one of the top 100 players in the NBA, I know ranking systems vary, and you'd find him on one and maybe not find him on another, but just what does it say about the anticipation and the expectations of Zach Edey coming out of that rookie season?
That's a high level of expectation, a high level of anticipation. If you're one of the top 80 players. You say he was like 88, right? Somewhere 88. Around there. So,
yep.
Yeah, if he's 88, that's top 100. There are only 460 players in the league total. So he's in the top 25%, you know what I mean, in terms of where he's looked at. And he only had, one rookie season to go off of. And it was a rookie season that was erratic until the very end, right? So, I think the expectations are high. If you could say, hey, man, you got a top 100 player in this league or a top 90 player in this league at center, and he's only played one season and only began to scratch the surface of what he's capable of doing towards the end, then the sky is high. It's high for Zach Edey, and he just has to come back healthy, man, and build on the way he finished the season.
As for other Grizzlies players who could be represented in that top 50 NBA players, who would you expect to see on the list as it rolls out these next couple days?
Well, if that's the case, then that basically is saying that, Zach Edey is the third best player on the team. Because if you're talking top 50, I only see two other Grizzlies players even capable of getting in there, and that's Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr., with no disrespect to anybody else, right? No disrespect to anyone else. But when you talk about top 50, that's an elite level of class right there. You're basically, talking about guys that are all-stars, and then just a step beyond all-stars when it comes to that type of situation. So Santi Aldama may sneak in there, but I can't see anyone other than Jaren and Ja, being definitely in that top 50.
Yeah, it's interesting. Between the early portion of the top 100 rankings that came out today, yesterday the annual NBA offseason survey came out on ESPN, and again, did Control F, Memphis Grizzlies, and the only mention of the Grizzlies in the NBA offseason survey was they got one vote for which team had the worst offseason. So no one was touching the New Orleans Pelicans with 9 votes in that category, and the Suns with 4, Kings with 2, and then it was the Bulls, Lakers, Grizzlies, Sixers, and Blazers each getting a vote. On the flip side of that, in the question of what was the best move of the offseason, the Magic trading for Desmond Bane came in second, only to the Rockets trading for Durant. So when you think about, the start of a season is when people really kind of re-reflect on how every team treated their offseason and what that expectation is going into the year. How do you think when we're all gathered next week at Media Day and training camp, we're talking about the Grizzlies offseason at large?
I think offseason at large, there's going to be two paths, right? And the Grizzlies have set themselves up to basically, methodically go down one of two different paths, or basically both paths simultaneously. On one end, you did everything you could to lock in Jaren Jackson Jr., Santi Aldama, and, Ja Morant, for the most part, was already on that $200+ million contract. So you locked in continuity with those three guys, and you're going to move forward. And this is you saying, okay, yes, we're still trying to go for it. We just had to mix things up. We traded Desmond Bane, got multiple pieces or assets from that, but we still are building this around these two guys with a couple of more players who have been around. Then on the flip side, if that doesn't go the way you absolutely needed to go, you can say, all right, guess what? We brought in the top 12 lottery pick in Cedric Coward. We have 2 first-team all-rookie guys to build around in terms of youth with Zach Edey and Jalen Wells. And then, we have some intriguing pieces to move forward with there too. And if we need to make a move on one of the bigger contracts, we will have the flexibility to continue to go into sort of a rebuilding mode with some promising young pieces. So depending on, you're hedging your bet. This is a season of hedge for this front office from that standpoint. If it's working out with Jaron and Ja, then you might have to sacrifice one of the young guys to go get a vet to make it all in. And if it doesn't necessarily go right, then you say, all right, Jaron or Ja, we might have to make a choice. Which way do we need to go? And then we'll, recalibrate around these young guys and get all the assets we can. So it's a hedge season, and it just depends on where things are, 20, 30 games into the year.
All right, so 20, 30 games into the year, what would it need to be for them to feel comfortable with going either way? Right, 20, 30 games into the season, what would it need to be? If we're hedging here, what would it need to be for them to be comfortable rolling with the roster that they have versus, hey, let's look at moving some of the bigger contracts?
Yeah, I think it would have to be one, and this is just me and my personal opinion. This isn't anything that the front office has indicated to me. This isn't anything that, they've shown, because again, like I said, they're holding the cards close to the vest and they have equal options on either hand, right? It's a balanced system that they're playing with. But I think a catastrophic injury to one of either the top 2 guys will have to make you rethink, okay, is this group capable of staying healthy enough? We've seen enough history now where Jaron and Ja, unfortunately, have only averaged 40 games a season together since they've been together, right? That's just 40 games where you've seen both of these guys on the court together. That's less than half of a season. We can't continue to build a successful model on that way. So that's one thing that might trigger the other reaction. Another thing is that, frankly, this team is underachieving with those 2 guys being healthy, right? So if you're at 500 or 10 games below 500 and it's really not going that well, then you have to start really asking yourself, how much time will Tuomas Isolo get to get it right as a first-year coach dealing with veteran players? Is it going to be he that has to be changed? Is it going to be one of the big 2 that's going to have to be changed from that standpoint? So it has to be a very, very bad start or injury-filled start where you're like, oh, man, not this again.
Yeah, please don't use the words catastrophic injury on September 20. Like, I don't even want to think about it, but it's
check Houston right now. Check Houston right now for that category.
Well, let's go straight to Houston, because that was pretty surprising news to get yesterday, with Fred VanVleet reportedly tearing his ACL in an offseason workout in the Bahamas, and that would mean that he would miss the season for Houston. This is their starting point guard. This is a veteran leader with an NBA championship under his belt from his time in Toronto. What does this mean for the Rockets moving forward this season, Mike, and how does it adjust perhaps the expectations there?
That is the one, and my former colleagues at ESPN and on the national level, Mark Stein said it. A lot of guys around the NBA said it. Mark Spears, my guy. All of these guys have gone to the same conclusion, is that as much as Houston has done to fortify their roster, that is the one position that they just said, you know what, we're going to roll the dice. This is our guy. And we saw the last year, like when Fred VanVleet is not there, that team kind of just, it goes in a different direction. Now, the Thompson twin, he's going to be the most improved player in the NBA by my regard, right? So he's going to be able to take on some on ball. You drafted Reed Shepherd 3rd overall to be able to step into a moment like this. I don't know if he's ready, but he's going to be thrown in by fire. And then they still have enough flexibility where they can go and get, another backup or something like that at this point. It's still early in the season. They'll get an injury exception. So there's some guys always out there that can help you at the point guard position. But Fred VanVleet, as you mentioned, Jessica, is a championship winning point guard who calibrated that entire roster, and it's a big time blow, man. It's not to the extreme of losing a Halliburton or losing a Tatum, but it's definitely right there because he's the engine that makes that team go.
Yeah, it certainly puts quicker pressure, I should say, on Reed Shepherd, on an Aaron Holiday. And then, Amen Thompson, like his ceiling could be a definer for the Houston Rockets next season. Health-wise in Memphis, as we knock on wood, cross the fingers, keep everything going, it appears, I won't say official, we've had no word, but Jaren Jackson Jr. looks to be in a good position where perhaps next Monday we are chatting with him about his status going into training camp, and from everything that has swirled and seeing him out at camps and out and about, he has been, if not on schedule, he's been ahead of schedule in recovering from his offseason injury. And then we got to hear from Cedric Coward after he threw the first pitch at the Redbirds game over the weekend, saying that he's been fully cleared for all basketball activities. What does it mean for Cedric Coward to be able to start this thing right off in training camp, considering he didn't get to play in Summer League? He was able to join the team for portions of it, but it's been a slower rollout perhaps than you would have maybe wanted, but I wouldn't say expected, because the Grizzlies front office drafted Cedric Coward fully knowing he was coming off of the shoulder surgery and what that rehab would look like.
Yeah, it's going to be important for him to get in there because you don't want to fall too far behind. Now, granted, he's a lottery pick and he's one of the cornerstones that you're going to build your future around potentially, right? So that means that you value him high enough for him to be an essential piece of your rotation potentially right from the start. But having said that, again, I go back to the hedge that I'm seeing from the way this team is stacked up. You have Ty Jerome capable of playing on the wing right there. You have Scottie Pippen Jr., who can take some of those minutes if Cedric is not ready. You have Kentavious Caldwell-Pope that you traded Desmond Bane for to basically be the frontline 2 guy coming into the beginning of the season if he's healthy. So Cedric won't be and then Jalen Wells at the 3. Santi can move to the 3 if you need to, although if Jaren is not completely available or will be available for training camp, Santi's probably going to play some more 4 as you try to, and with Zach not there. So you're going to have to hedge Santi more towards the big as opposed to the backcourt. But Cedric won't have to come right in and be a dominant, hey, he's our 6th guy right away, or he's a starter right away. He will have time, but he's still building, man. He's such a blank canvas. We don't know. We hope, and we've seen evidence of 6 games of his potential, and we've heard a lot of reports around people who've evaluated him. But that's different from being, in the live action under the gun in NBA games with guys who are fighting for jobs. So we'll see where he is. He's the most intriguing roster piece that I see going into training camp, and his development will be one of the big stories for the Grizzlies starting off this year.
I know we've hit a lot of storylines going into camp next week, but is there one burning biggest question for you that you're going into next Monday wanting answered? Yes.
Exactly what is the timeline for Zach Edey? We started this segment today with you stating that Zach is a top 100 player in the NBA. That's some lofty, respectful praise. How long? Where is he? Like, we've seen indications of Jaren moving around and doing different things. What is the prognosis for Zach Edey? I don't want it to be murky, but the Grizzlies typically don't necessarily give you the exact straight timeline, right? It's always, there's a range there and there's a reevaluation there, and they may not give us the exact timeline or time frame. But, is this something where you're looking at December? Is it something you're looking at, the holiday season? Or is it something that you could say, all right, let's get through October and see where we are 2 weeks into the season, and maybe he can work his way back? So that's going to be a big time question for me. How soon can you get this guy who is so essential to Tuomas Isolo's pick and roll structure and his offensive base? How soon will he be available? What's his return to play process?
Well, and that was even in him being dubbed number 88 on the ranking system. The signature stat that they used to describe Zach Edey's placement in all of it was the 32.9 on ball screens per game that Zach Edey set under Tuomas Isolo in comparison to the 13.2 that he had under Taylor Jenkins. So the unlocking of Zach Edey as it was seen late in that season, I mean, it's a huge part, right? Like, we've seen how that impacts who John Morant is on the basketball court. Having a big guy like Zach Edey and the intention behind Tuomas Isolo's system, I think I agree with you, is probably the biggest. The health of John and Jaren is going to be the biggest thing, period, for this team in terms of their abilities and ultimately what the ceiling looks like for them. But that Zach Edey piece of it sure is quite literally huge. And as a forever Edey truther, Mike Wallace, that's good for you.
Hey, listen, man, who would have thought a year and a half ago, as we sat on this show doing my weekly segments, that we will be saying Zach Edey is the top 88 player in the NBA one season in?
Not me.
Not that guy. Not this guy, CJ. Not him.
I was.
Jessica came around.
I came around.
Open-minded, you know what I mean? But from
I
the
always
moment,
stay open-minded.
I am open-minded as well. I can't help that I be right most of the time. I can't help that.
Yeah.
But Mike, you got it. Zach Edey, top 88 player in the NBA according to a preseason thing. Y'all got it.
Before I let you go, Mike, back to the top 100. Not even the top 100, but the off-season survey. One of the things that was interesting to me, and not a surprise per se at this point, but like I said, the Grizzlies were only mentioned one time. Like, they're not a highlight of the NBA off-season survey. I did think it was fascinating, the difference between contenders in the West versus the East. The East had an assortment of teams. The West, it was just the Thunder and the Nuggets. Those were the only two teams that got votes for who will win the Western Conference this year.
That's surprising.
I
That's
was surprised by that.
Because I before VanVleet, well, if this came, this probably came out before VanVleet.
Yeah, yes, it did.
Right.
Yes.
I'm surprised that Houston didn't get a little bit more respect for that, though, because I clearly think Houston, before the VanVleet issue, is right there. Denver is just coming. Like, Denver reminds me of the old that last stages of San Antonio that had Duncan, right? That team they put their head down once they lost to Miami on that Ray Allen step back shot that forced Game 7, and they lost that series. They were on a vengeance tour that next year. I see Denver and Jokic coming like that. So I respect them being here. Obviously, OKC won't take their foot off the gas. They're just figuring out who they are, and they were dominant last year. But I think Houston, because of Udoka's mentality and the way they defend, if they can get some offense, and Kevin Durant was supposed to address that consistently, they're right there. Now, having said that, though, VanVleet takes a complete step back because he's so important. But back to the Grizzlies, though, like, the thing is, that's okay. They don't need to have headlines anymore. I wrote this in one of the pieces, and by the way, Part 6, our final piece of the offseason series, looking at the Southwest and the Grizzlies standing in it, is out today. It'll hit the website today. And it basically says, make your prediction. Where does this team land? And I predicted the Grizzlies, and I was optimistic, but I predicted the Grizzlies to finish 6th in the West, find a way to fight their way out of the play-in stage, and get the number 6 seed, and then go from there. I predict Ja and Hearon will have 60-plus games together on the court this year in order for that to happen. So I don't need them to be top 4 talked about. They're not fine in the West. They're fading in the West, and they have to figure out a way to get a handle on their contention status. And I think as long as it's quiet, as long as they're healthy, just go about your business methodically and see where things go.
Well, and I can't remember when Ja Morant last appeared on one of these NBA offseason surveys. I do think, and forgive me if I'm wrong and dreaming, that at some point he was in that mix of who is either the best, or he's probably who will be the best American player in 5 years, which is one of the questions. And he's not included in that list now. That goes down to Anthony Edwards, Cooper Flagg, Jason Tatum, Paolo Banchero, and Jalen Williams in the next 5 years. In the next 5 years. The best player right now is still not Seth Curry. I saw Seth Curry is apparently signing with the Warriors. Steph Curry, Anthony Edwards, and Donovan Mitchell. And there was a note that before Tatum's injury, he probably would have been included in that, but obviously he's out for the season. For you, from your standpoint, is there still a path forward for Ja Morant? And I would say yes, so I'm going to put my editorialism in there. What is the path forward for Ja Morant getting back in the mix of being one of those true recognized, we're fine with American basketball? Please don't say it. We're not fine in the West, and we're not fine in the USA, but like, he can regain his status as being one of the best American players in the NBA right now.
You know what, Jess, for me, to answer that question, I'll say this. I saw the clip that the New Orleans Pelicans put out yesterday with Joe Dumars, their new head of basketball operations, being very frank and transparent about Zion Williamson and saying, listen, there's a difference between talent and greatness. Greatness requires responsibility and obligations and accountability. Talent, you can have that and still, be a star in this league. Greatness is a different level. And he was talking about Zion, and he said he's seeing the pieces put together right now with Zion trying to understand that. You can copy that same clip and put Zach Kleiman in that same chair, and he said that same thing about Ja Morant 2 seasons ago going into the season. And, I think both of those guys, Zion and Ja, this is a referendum season for both of these guys because they were number 1 overall and number 2 overall coming into the league the same year in 2019. We're 7 years in now. We've not seen either one of them live up to their full potential as top 2 picks as head of the faces of their franchises. And for them to be linked by South Carolina, for them to be former AAU teammates and all of these things, is kind of symbolic that I think both of them are in the same place. Now, Ja has gotten his team way further than Zion has gotten the Pelicans. But having said that, there still is a lot to be desired from both of those guys. And I think Ja has a chance to do that. Zion has a chance to get back in that discussion as well, too. But it starts because the keys are firmly in both of their hands right now this season. The front office changed in New Orleans. The coaching staff changed in Memphis. Your team around you have changed, and now it's more on you now than ever before. And I think Ja has to step up and prove it. And I think this is the season where he does it.
Mike, thanks as always. We'll see you next week for Media Day. And next week we'll be talking training camp. Can't wait.
Yes, absolutely. See you guys then.
Be sure to check out Mike's latest up at grindcitymedia.com. You can find his entire 6-part series on the Southwest Division leading up to this season, and his latest is up now. We'll take a quick break. It was a very newsy sports day yesterday. Bruce Pearl is leaving Auburn. His son is taking over as head coach. We got college football scheduling news, and we have a college football coach's daughter who is now officially dating a player on a team that her dad's team is playing against this week. CJ's so excited about all of it. We'll get into it after a quick break.
You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for?
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Let's go, Grizz, let's go! Oh, John Moran just broke the rim with that finish. Defense, take them ball! Defense, take them ball!
Hearon with a rejection.
Give me that!
Moran digs at it, knocks it away. Picked up by Kiffin. Bob, Brendan Clark.
On that rim!
Catch us if you can at Southland Casino Hotel and win your share of up to $1.8 million in free play and prizes. Join us for drawings every Saturday in May, June, and July. Each month, over 900 winners will take home free play or drive off in a new car or motorcycle. Be there for all 6 grand finale drawings and try to catch us if you can, only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
How did they sell you on Memphis?
We're really just, I was really looking at the success that Memphis has, something I wanted to be a part of, and then the reputation Coach Silverfield and Coach Cramsey had as an OC, the things that he was able to do with Seth and the things that he's done in his career. I felt like that's something I wanted to be a part of, and I felt myself being able to excel in his offense. And also, I looked at the weapons around and everybody that I was going to be playing it with.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
you want to be where you think the University of Memphis belongs.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what the next step is?
I think we're ripe for success. And so what I don't want to do is make an intermediate move if it's not going to position us well. And so my job is to make sure when that opportunity presents itself and the circumstance is right, that Memphis is prepared 100% to take advantage of it.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Welcome back. Some big sports stories from yesterday, perhaps the biggest being that Bruce Pearl is stepping down as head coach at Auburn a little less than 2 months before the college basketball season begins. Posted a 14-minute cinematic video on the whole thing yesterday that you can find on social media. CJ's thrilled about it. His son will take over as head coach, Stephen Pearl, who has been with Auburn since Bruce Pearl took that head coaching job back in 2014. I guess this didn't really come as a surprise to me. Were you surprised, CJ? Or did you hear the rumblings about a month ago? Why are you so negative about this?
I was surprised because I didn't think it would happen so soon. I am so negative because, like, he's getting ready to run for something, isn't he?
No, he said he's not.
Okay, thank goodness.
No, so when I heard
but also, I don't believe him.
Well, you
I
never
think
know.
He absolutely is getting ready
So
to
here's
run for something, and that is why the groans are coming hot, hard, and heavy from your boy
Well,
over
for
here.
people who are unfamiliar, there was rumblings in the basketball community. These weren't like secretive rumblings. They were all over message boards. It was a widely known rumor, I guess, about a month ago, that Bruce Pearl might step down close to the start of the college football season, and that he was going to do it because he was going to pursue a Senate seat, specifically the Senate seat that Tommy Tuberville is vacating in his efforts to become governor. But reportedly, as of now, that is not the plan for Bruce Pearl. He is just retiring as Auburn's head coach. He is not running for Senate at this moment. He is staying at Auburn, and specifically, he is being Auburn's senator, whatever that means. So he is staying. If he was going to run for Senate, he would not be able to be connected to the university. Everything that came out yesterday shows that he still wants to be connected to Auburn. His son is going to be the head coach. Like, no matter what you think about Bruce Pearl, he's one of the biggest personalities in the sport. He's one of the most successful coaches that we've seen in the sport in the last 30 years. He took Auburn from being one of the worst programs in the SEC to being a perennial contender in the SEC, went to 2 Final Fours. His overall record as a head coach, 465 and 224, and that does not include the 12 wins that were vacated by his resume by the NCAA in the 2016-2017 season. But to go from the show cause situation at Tennessee to revive his career at Auburn, to continue coaching at a high level, he's been massive. And this is, coming off of a year where last year we saw Jay Wright leave, fairly short time period before the season began with college basketball. It does beg the question of these older coaches reaching a point where they just don't want to or need to do it. Bruce Pearl's only 65. Like, we're conditioned to seeing coaches go as long as humanly possible. And now it's like if there's an exit route to take, they can find it. And as it comes to his son taking over the program, I do think it's a little sketchy to leave this close to the season if the plan was, hey, if I leave as close as possible, there's no choice but it being Stephen as the next head coach. However, if you talk to anyone at Auburn and fans at Auburn, they want Stephen to be the next head coach. So I saw a lot of people shaking the nepotism flag of, oh, here's a son who gets a job. He has been with him the entire time at Auburn. It is a situation where he's been an assistant and risen through those ranks, and most people at Auburn want him to be the head coach. So it'll be an interesting thing to see. Is he able to keep Pettifor? Is he able to keep his team? Because a coach leaves, they can enter the transfer portal. It's pretty close to the season, so how all that works out. But yeah, Bruce Pearl, no longer a head coach in college basketball.
You talk about what he did at Auburn. He did something similar at Tennessee as well. Tennessee wasn't a tremendous basketball powerhouse, and he got there And I think the last good year that I can remember Tennessee having before Bruce Pearl was the Allen Houston era in the 90s. Bruce Pearl gets there, and they get back rolling. They win some tournament games, and they get to a couple of – did they get to an Elite Eight? They get far.
With Tennessee?
With Tennessee. They get far, I feel like. Maybe it's a Sweet 16. But either way it goes, Bruce Pearl is one of the best college basketball coaches of my lifetime. And if this is it, I hope that this is it. He can retire and be around basketball still, because he's just such a really, really good basketball mind. But I do fear that Bruce Pearl is walking away to start campaigning to run for something.
I'm just saying, as of right now, the announcement did not come with running for Senate yesterday.
I'm not running for Senate right now, but tomorrow. He might also, listen, I'm not sure where the Jewish community goes during the rapture. He might be waiting for today to end.
No,
so
today's
he knows
Rosh Hashanah.
Is it?
Don't do that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. What's that?
A holiday, a Jewish holiday.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So he might be waiting till the end of the rapture to decide where the recruits are and who's where, to decide whether or not he's going to actually retire.
I don't know what time zone the rapture was happening in. You know, like, does the rapture happen in one time zone and then swoop its way across the world? I heard
Almost
people
like
in
New
Australia
Year's
and New Zealand were marked safe like at like 6 p.m. last night. You know, I saw that trickle on the timeline. They're like, we're still here. But how embarrassing if you're like, hey, there's no rapture, and then you realize like you were just left, and like you walk outside and there's no one there. You're like, oh shoot.
Oh no.
How did this happen?
The day after the rapture, do you go to work?
You know,
the day immediately following the rapture.
If you're a manager and an employee doesn't show up, just doesn't show, are you concerned about them?
Or do you think, they're going to a better place?
They left it.
Either they got raptured or they quit this place. Either way it goes, they're in a better spot.
Man,
like the day after the snap, Thanos snaps his fingers, half of the population disintegrates, they go away. Where to, we don't know. But am I expected to go to work that next day?
Yeah. Well, that's where that show that I watched, The Leftovers, and I want everybody to watch The Leftovers, even though it's certainly not a show for everyone. It is so weird, and many people would probably hate it. But the idea of, like, you don't know about the rapture, and it's never like clear that what happened in The Leftovers is the rapture. It's just 2% of the population disappears, and there's no rhyme or reason. Like, a lot of them are, some people seek out to show just how bad of people they were and like all the sins that they had to try to prove that it wasn't a rapture. But there is a rapture episode in The Leftovers where it shows a family of like homesteaders back in the yesteryears, and they go to a small church in a small town, and like every year they get on their roof thinking it's the day of the rapture, and like every time they like sadly have to climb back down the ladder because everybody's still there. Anyway, I really learned a lot about the rapture yesterday. Yeah, I didn't. It wasn't in the Bible. It was like created in the 17th century, as like a progress kept happening, and this desire to make sure that people were staying grounded in their beliefs and attached to being a good person and being attached to the church and all of that. So anyway, we're all still here for now. Who knows? It'd be really weird if mid-rapture conversation.
I just ascend.
Yes, CJ, of all people, you ascended. If you ascend, we know that everything we think about the rapture is absolutely wrong.
Why wouldn't I ascend? I'm the most right person on these airwaves.
You want to know what I did think of? Because I see our chat talking about how he's only 65 years old. I was like, wow, what a beautiful concept of retiring at 65. Like, nobody retires at 65 anymore. We're all like, we're going to be working far into our 70s and we're never going to stop. The good old days, if you got to, when did your pension kick in? I don't know the answer to these things because I just assume I'm going to work forever. But like retiring at 65, that's a lot of space left. You could still walk when you're traveling. You could still
and with that money,
carry a backpack.
Bruce Pearl got a nice little piece of change. He can go many different places. Anywhere he wants, he can go.
He sure does. Well, if the Bruce Pearl news didn't move you yesterday, perhaps scheduling news in college football would. I find scheduling news relatively bland to deal with. Like, I do not get up for scheduling news, although it was big yesterday in college football because you got the news of the SEC rivals reveal, which On3 reported on yesterday. They will officially come out tonight, I guess, along with the other opponents that all of the teams are playing from 2026 to 2029, because the SEC now has their 9 conference game blueprint. Each SEC team will have 3 opponents that they play every year. But, let me remind people, it's a 4-year cycle. So they're only doing this for 4 years, and then it will change. So everybody crying about Alabama, LSU not happening every year, guess what? It'll probably be in the next cycle. Just a guess. But when I did look at the rivals that were revealed, I did think Florida and Tennessee seemed to be winners in this situation. Florida gets Georgia, which is hard, but then they get South Carolina and Kentucky, and then Tennessee gets Alabama, which is perennially hard, and then they get Kentucky and Vanderbilt. No disrespect to Vanderbilt. You know I'm all about Vanderbilt right now. I do love that Vanderbilt's vaunted rivalries along with Tennessee is Auburn and Mississippi State. They're like, we got to give them 2 more. Let's just make it Auburn and Mississippi State. Why not? The Hugh Freeze, Diego Pavia thing will take us far in this world. But ultimately, this will change. But for now, this is the new structure of the SEC.
These aren't the only games they are playing in conference, right? So these are
just the games they
play every single year. And
then they're playing the same one 3 times.
Yeah, I know. And then they'll just rotate through everybody else in conference. So you may end up, while it's not an every year thing, taking the Alabama LSU game as an example, while it's not an every year type of thing, it may very well happen a time or two, which absolutely happened once. It may happen a time or 2, maybe even 3 times in this cycle. It's just all about how they decide to go out there and schedule it. And while teams like Florida and Tennessee have a pretty easy go of their annual games, they still have to play some combination of, at some point, Auburn, Texas, LSU, throw Missouri in there, you've still got Oklahoma. You still got to play some combination of those teams. So it'll all work itself out. It'll be fine. I'm excited for it. 10 conference games is what everybody should be playing at the power conference level. 10 plus 9 plus 1 Power 4 out of conference opponent. Everybody should be playing that. Stop playing FCS schools. That gives me nothing. That gives you nothing. Stop doing that. Let's get down to the football so I can accurately gauge how good some of these teams are. Because I got a team like USC out here beating the hell out of people, and you look at them and it's like, oh, they played.
Who are they?
I can't tell you where the hell these teams are. And then on the other side of things, you've got a team like Notre Dame losing on the road to Miami. I know where Miami is. It's in Miami. And then losing at home to Texas A&M. I know where that is. That's in College Station. Right, so how do I know? How can I accurately judge these 2 resumes when one resume has a team who's lost twice but lost to some pretty good teams, whereas the other team hasn't lost at all, but they've beaten the hell out of nobody, right? I'm so tired of college football teams being rewarded for scheduling poorly. We got to get that up out of here. Let's get these 10 P4 games going, man.
The other news is that the ACC is joining everybody else and playing the 9 games in conference per season, along with the 1 additional Power 4 game. So teams will play 9 ACC games, 1 Power 4 game starting in 2026. The Big 12 and the Big 10 have been doing this. Once the SEC did it, it was assumed that the ACC was going to have to follow suit. And ACC's always had kind of a unique struggle with this because of the Notre Dame component, plus the non-conference rivalry games for Florida State, Florida, Georgia Tech, Georgia, Clemson, South Carolina, Louisville, Kentucky. Notre Dame has usually played 5 ACC games, and so now when Clemson, Florida State, Louisville, and Georgia Tech play Notre Dame, that means they'll have to play 11 Power 4 games.
What? Why would Notre Dame count as out of conference?
It does, but they already have their SEC. A lot of those SEC rivalries are built in.
So, okay, here's my confusion.
Okay.
All right, so you play 9 conference games. I understand that you want in the years where you're Florida State and you play Notre Dame, you can't take 1 away. Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
So Notre Dame just needs to get their ass in the damn conference.
That's what it all comes down to always.
Because you wouldn't be able to say, all right, you're playing Notre Dame and you're playing Florida. Okay, we're going to get rid of Boston College or Georgia Tech off of your schedule because Notre Dame isn't in your conference. That wouldn't count towards a conference game or a conference win. So yeah, Notre Dame, it's time for them to get in the conference, or the ACC just get rid of Notre Dame. Like, what do you need them for anyway?
Yeah.
I don't understand why we keep bending over backwards for this 1 power program. Like, come on, get in the conference, stop it.
Or stop.
Or just be fine being in the group of whatever.
Yeah, go be in the Pac-12. Notre Dame.
That's a conference. They don't. Notre Dame. We can't join
Fill
the
your
conference.
schedule with. The Pac-12 is desperately going to be looking for
games,
opponents to fill their schedule with. I saw somebody point out it was sure is a good thing that Oregon State locked in the Civil War with Oregon, or else they might have been at risk of not having any power conference opponents, and maybe that would be better considering how terrible Oregon State has been this year. It's been rough for Oregon State, Washington State. Anyway, we'll see how it looks moving forward. One last piece of college football news that was a little crazy yesterday. I love the stupidity of college football. I love this stupid little sport. And so naturally, I love that Lane Kiffin's daughter is dating LSU linebacker Whit Weeks. I, as a purveyor of college football, have known about this relationship for about a month because I saw a video of his daughter with Whit Weeks. She wasn't with him, but she was at a game day at LSU earlier this month and was talking about the fact that he's her boyfriend. But it's not real until it's on the grid. That's, as the kids would say. If it's not real if it's not on the grid. If somebody doesn't have their partner on the grid, is their relationship even real? I don't know. I don't make the rules. But once you put it on the grid, it's like official. And to put it on the grid the week that Ole Miss plays LSU is very trolly. And I appreciate the drama and the dumb and the silliness of it all. And as someone in that tweet pointed out, the only business decision is that you should take the over. And then Lane Kiffin tweeted back, take the over. Can coaches do that? Like, I get it as a joke. Can coaches talk about gambling on Twitter before a game?
I don't think that they
don't think it's advised.
Can.
Yeah.
This one is so funny, though. He can get away with it. Also, it's Lane Kiffin. So shouldn't you always take the over in Lane Kiffin coach games? Right? Like, they're not trying to play the 3 yards in a cloud of dust type football. They're always trying to go over.
Yeah.
They're aware. Lane Kiffin is aware
Yeah.
of the spread and what the team totals and things of that nature
He
are.
always
He
is.
wants to hit the over.
He just talked about it. What was the game like 2 weeks ago where he apologized to the fans?
Arkansas?
For the late cover. Was it the Arkansas game? Maybe.
I can't remember.
It starts to blend together at this point in the young season. All right, that's the latest and greatest from the world of college sports. We will take a quick break. When we come back, we'll do a little TV Tuesday, what we're watching. I watched a comedy special last night. I know we normally do comedy specials in theater Thursday, but this was on HBO Max. And anyway, I just watched it last night. So we'll talk about that, talk about the shows that we are watching after a quick break.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
How did they sell you on Memphis?
I was really looking at the success that Memphis had, something I wanted to be a part of, and then the reputation Coach Silverfield and Coach Cramsey had as an OC, the things that he was able to do with Seth and the things that he's done in his career, I felt like that's something I wanted to be a part of, and I felt myself being able to excel in his offense. And also, I looked at the weapons around and everybody I was going to be playing it with.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
You want to be where you think the University of Memphis belongs.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what the next step is?
I think we're ripe for success. And so what I don't want to do is make an intermediate move if it's not going to position us well. And so my job is to make sure when that opportunity presents itself and the circumstance is right, that Memphis is prepared 100% to take advantage of it.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Welcome back. Time for a little TV Tuesday before we get into the rest of our day. CJ, are you watching anything good right now?
Yeah.
What are you watching?
I am almost done. I got one more episode left on Dragon Ball Daima. That's where, for those of you who don't know, the Z fighters end up having to go to the demon realm to take care of some business. Is really, really good. I enjoy the hell out of it. So I'm making my way through that. One more episode for that. Paper, or the Paper Company, whichever, whatever. The Paper. Really, really good. So I'm watching that. We started watching Only Murders in the Building.
Oh, you have.
We started watching that. The wife loves it, and I don't mind if it's on as background noise. So we're making our way through that one. And the thing that I am really excited to talk about, a nice adult cartoon on the Netflix called Haunted Hotel. And it is incredible. So went to Vegas and downloaded some shows and some movies to watch. I was like, okay, this is odd. Let me download like 3 episodes and I'll watch one of them, and we'll see what I think about it. We landed in Dallas. We had some travel issues. We finally get to Dallas, and I couldn't wait to get back on the Wi-Fi. I downloaded the other 7 episodes. It's 10 episodes deep, and I finished the entire thing.
Really?
In one weekend.
10 episodes in one weekend.
It is. They're 30 minutes.
Okay.
It's follows a family, a single mother with her 2 kids, older son, younger daughter, as she tries to run a hotel that her brother left her, dead brother, who is a ghost, and there are ghosts in the hotel of the most ridiculous sort. Not only ghosts, but monsters and demons, and I forget the rock, paper, scissors of it all. I think demon beats people beats ghost, ghost beats demon, right? So there's all types of weirdness going on in the hotel. It's great. It's like, and the mom is regular. Mom is real regular. There is the daughter, reminds me a lot of Louise from Bob's Burgers, just really mischievous and intelligent and into everything. She controls dark magic for some reason. The brother reminds me of like a Bobby Hill type of guy, like dopey but lovable kid, falls for everything. And then there's Adnan, who is the demon child, who is a demon that was trapped in the body of a 17th century boy, who reminds me a lot of Stuart Griffin of Stewie from Family Guy. And it just all works. It's just very, very good, very funny. There's, the show starts and there's warnings up like, hey, this is TVMA for these reasons. And for the entirety of the season, suicide was up there. I was like, oh no, am I going to see somebody commit suicide in this really funny cartoon? No, I'm not. When you find out who committed suicide, it throws you for a loop. There's an interesting conversation about death in that part of life where people do commit suicide. There's an interesting moment in one of the episodes where that comes to fruition, and it lends me to want a second season so they can delve deeper into that thing. All in all, man, it's just really, really funny and really enjoyable. And I cackled several times throughout my watching of the show. I love it.
I needed a good laugh this week. And so we ended up watching the Caleb Hearon, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it even, Caleb Hearon comedy special on HBO Max last night. And speaking of suicide,
does a great bit on that. I have not seen a comedian be as edgy as Caleb is in some of the jokes that he tells and find success in the jokes that he tells. CJ, I think you would like it. There's a little bit too mushy heartwarmingness in the middle, which I know you don't always love in your comedy, but this is someone who pushes some pretty hard comedy boundaries, and I think it works fairly well. We did it while we were working out, and I had to stop various exercises because I was audibly laughing and could not carry through with those. So I thought it was very funny. It's on HBO Max now. I would recommend it. Not to everyone, but to some, if you think that you would be into Caleb's kind of comedy, given who he is. We also are still watching Task, and we watched episode 3 yesterday. I love this show. I am all in. I think that it is another great on HBO. I do think it's rather bleak. I think no matter how this show ends, it's going to be really depressing. No spoilers, but I told you the premise of it was a group of people who are robbing trap houses, and then on the other side is an FBI task force trying to figure out who the people are who are robbing the trap houses. And wouldn't you know, bad things can happen when you're robbing trap houses. So the drama has increased expeditiously, and it twists, it turns. I multiple times yesterday throughout episode 3 said, ooh, a twist, twice. And they were big twists, and ends on a nice cliffhanger. My life is better when I have a Sunday show, even if I can't watch the show on Sunday because of Sunday Night Football, but it also gives you such a nice out if you don't want to watch the Sunday Night Football game. We did this week. I don't know why. It was that terrible Giants game, but we stayed committed to it. So caught up yesterday. I think Mark Ruffalo is fantastic. All the acting on it is really, really solid. And yeah, watch Task.
Do you have a favorite character from the show? Is there a character you're identifying with, or a character you empathize? I hope nothing better happened to this character. Otherwise, I'm gonna be very, very upset.
Well, there's 2. One of them I've already decided is gonna die. Okay. So I won't say that. Well, I guess it doesn't matter because I don't know that. But I'm pretty sure that one of the FBI task members is going to die. That's just no. Okay. Girl, white girl. Gotcha. That's who I have dubbed, and I thought that it might happen this week, and then I was like, oh. Marked safe. But the other, because it's 2 timelines, right? So it's the people doing the robbing and then the people trying to solve the crime. And I guess it's technically 3 because then there's also a biker gang. You want to know who I don't want to mess with in this world? Biker gangs. Keep me out. I don't want to be on a task force investigating them. I'll leave you alone. You enjoy your bike night. I'll just be on the other side. I'm not going to get on your bike. I'm not trying to steal your bike. I respect, and I will stay a little away. Because
Lizzie?
This bike, Lizzie.
Lizzie's
That's the one.
Okay,
Lizzie. And then the girl who plays Mark Ruffalo's younger adopted daughter. No, but I like her. She's cool. She's good people. Maeve is a good character. Oh gosh, it would be Brandis would be the last name. Emily Brandis. Okay. Emily, yeah. So she plays Mark Ruffalo's, the FBI, the head of the task force, his daughter. And there's a whole family drama going on there where this is all laid out early, but Mark Ruffalo's son, so this girl's brother, is in prison for something. I won't tell you what, but it's very dramatic and causes a lot of in-family fighting of what's going on. But yeah, it's just a good little show. I love a drama. I love an escapism drama that makes you sweat.
Okay, so you name characters that you gave the 2 that you were really big on. Like if something happens, I'm rooting for these 2 characters. Why are you rooting for them?
Yeah.
Why? And it's Lizzie and
Lizzie's a little derpy.
Okay.
Lizzie clearly was
dropped on her head?
Not dropped off her head, but
took one too many acetaminophen?
Isn't really built for it.
Okay.
She's not really built for she's kind of timid. She's kind of wacky. She had a weird email address that they all make fun of her for. She missed an email, missed the memo. From the very beginning, she's very frazzled. Okay. There's obviously a lot going on in her life, and she's not a surefire investigator. She's a state trooper, I believe. So the task force is made up of a state trooper, a investigator, and someone else. It's 3 rejects who get thrown on this task force, kind of, but they're not all seen as rejects, but Lizzie is the furthest down in the mix. And then from the daughter's perspective, it's just really sad watching her have to figure out, her dad is dealing with this family
crime that happened, and he's drinking a lot, and he really doesn't seem like he's in a good place. And now he's gone back to work, and now he's in a dangerous place because he has to deal with this biker gang. I wouldn't want my dad dealing with a biker gang. Oh, no, not the I don't think he would do well with the biker gang. He bikes, like on the little bike. Oh, okay. He's a big biker. He bikes all the time.
So
he should live in Amsterdam.
Is he a part of a bike gang?
No, he's not a part of a biker gang.
All right.
He's just a cyclist.
So he doesn't have a cyclist group then?
No.
Okay.
He's a lone cyclist.
Oh, those are the most dangerous kinds.
He's a lone cyclist. I'm trying to think if there's anything else on the television at the moment. We get WNBA playoff action tonight. We'll have game 2.
Are you going to watch Gen V?
Hell yeah, I'm going to watch Gen V. When does that come out?
I
this
think
week?
it's out.
Now?
Yeah, I think the 25th. It's either out now or it's out on the 25th. Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah,
I'm watching Gen V. I need to do one of my go-to watch a YouTube video that catches me up on everything that happened within Gen V.
Yeah, that's we're making our way through Wednesday as well.
We started the first episode. I need to get back to it.
Of season 1 or 2?
Season 2.
Okay, but I just need a quick 30 minutes on everything that happened in these shows because it takes them so long to come back. I've forgotten everything by then. And it's not like we're watching them spaced out.
Yeah.
So I'm not retaining the information. I'm binging everything. And so as I'm binging it, it's in there for a while and then poof, it goes away.
And I really enjoy it. And I can I can remember the feeling it gives me, but I really struggle with the specifics. The first 3 episodes are out right now.
Okay, so Gen V is out. Okay, here we go.
That's so
know what I'm gonna do when I get home?
I can't watch without Chris.
Oh, see, that's the thing. The missus hates all of that type stuff. Like it is so
lucky.
over the top. I have to. You say that. I have to find time to watch it
Where
without
she's not
her.
around.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
I
that's
can
not
understand
very often.
I'll never forget watching the first episode of The Boys on an airplane, and I was like, wow. Chris, you should check out this show. A lot happens within the very beginning of it. That's exciting for Gen V to come back. But I will be interested in the 2 game 2s tonight in the WNBA semifinals. Mercury Lynx at 6:30 and Fever Aces at 8:30. Did the Aces bounce back?
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Yeah, why wouldn't they? They've got
They can't stop Kelsey Mitchell.
They've got the best player in the series.
Yes.
They've got the best player in the series, and Asia Wilson, you just got to find a way to play a bit better defensively and to get Asia the ball where she's open and not having to work so hard to get a look at the bucket, right? So set some screens for Asia coming across the paint. So set some slide screens like that, or involve her more in off-ball screens that makes somebody have to step out and help a little bit, and then allow her to roll to the rim. I think the Aces are fine. I think that's the best shot that the Fever have. You got to get one of those games. The Fever got that one. I would expect the Aces to go out there 4 games. This thing will be all over.
Mercury Lynx.
Oh boy. I mean, I'm not sure if there isn't a more complete team in the W than what the Lynx are.
Correct.
And while Alyssa Thomas is incredible and spectacular, she can only carry you so far before somebody has to step in there and step up. Copper, Bonner, somebody has to step up on that team to give her some help, because people will step up with Fee. Right, like she could carry you so far as well. Courtney Williams will step up. Heidemann would step up. McBride will step up. Smith will step up.
They're so deep.
They will step up.
Yeah.
Somebody has to step up on that Mercury team.
And the thing with the Lynx is they're so adaptive. Like a day after Elena Smith gets named co-defensive player of the year, she got subbed out in that game because she wasn't playing her best defense. And they ended up going with Maria Kliendakova for a little bit and changed the tides, got them back on track, and they end up winning the game by 13. So you have a coach who's not afraid to make adjustments. You have a team that is very deferring to whoever is the best option at that moment. And that's a very special thing for the Lynx to be. They just seem like that's why we've talked about them this way all year. They are the clear best team in the WNBA this season. That's not taking away from what the Mercury are and what they have been. It's just hard when you go up against the best team with one of the best players, with one of the best defensive players in the W as well. So that series feels a little more definitive to me, and mostly just because the Lynx took care of home court and won the first game by double digits. Like, then you have the Fever who come out, snatch one. Anytime you have a team that gets a surprise win, they have a chance because they've gotten one. It's mathematically an opportunity for them. But I would be surprised if you don't see a pretty solid response from A'ja Wilson and the Las Vegas Aces tonight. That'll do it for today's show. We'll be back tomorrow. D'Angelo Williams will join us. I cannot wait to chat with D'Angelo about his experience at the Memphis football game this weekend. Wonder what time he ended up getting to the game. I know he was there by the end because I saw him out on the field. We will see you all tomorrow. Don't forget, Fat Bear Week starts today. We are a big Fat Bear Week show, and voting begins at 11 a.m. Central Time. And if you care about your city, you will vote for 901. 901 Bear doesn't really have anything to do with Memphis, but we've made it the unofficial official bear of Memphis, Tennessee. 901 takes on 503, and you need to vote to make sure that 901
Just a little background on 901 also.
Oh, okay.
You know that 901 had a litter last year.
Yep.
And sadly, she lost all of them.
Yep.
So this is a single mother dealing with some trauma right here.
Yeah.
We love to support those types of people. So, and that means we love to support those types of bears. So
did you read her biography?
Yes.
Her prior experience with cubs, albeit brief,
Yep.
may position 901 for greater maternal success as soon as next year. Female bears with greater amounts of body fat are better positioned to endure the energetic demands of cub rearing. More experienced mothers are better equipped with the knowledge to keep their cubs safe. It is not uncommon for mother bears in Katmai to lose their entire litter given the risks faced by cubs, yet past maternal experience is immensely valuable, which is why 901's growing maturity and body size have her poised for success.
She got her bear body. We
looking
talk about having the grown man body. She's got that bear body.
Somebody come get her.
What?
She's big and fluffy bear. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Mood.